Aliens and high school angst meet in rural Ohio in a battle to save the planet. I'm John Renton with the retro review of The Faculty, directed by Robert Rodriguez, who directed Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn, Sin City, as well as the Spy Kids movies and many others. He's had quite the interesting career in Hollywood, written by Kevin Williamson, who wrote the first two Scream movies and I Know What You Did Last Summer, at least at this time, and has wrote many other movies since. And basically, it's Invasion of the Body Snatchers with a bunch of 90s fashions and pretty people that the 90s kids all loved at this time. There were early 20-somethings playing teens that were trying to save their small Ohio community, specifically their high school that they never seemed to goddamn leave outside of a few scenes. And they, must fight back against an alien parasite invasion where, yeah, it's basically Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's basically what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. This was at least better than the 1993 version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers that, like the 78 version, had Donald Sutherland in it. But unlike the 78 version, was not nearly as good. In fact, it was fucking shit. But enough about that. I remember liking this movie when I was 17, even in years since, but I haven't watched it for a while, and I wanted to watch it with fresh eyes. This movie's kind of bad. It's kind of really bad at times. Now, it's funny. It's entertaining, don't get me wrong. There's a breezy pace about it, but the characters all have to play stupid because it's obvious who the culprit is and who the leader of this whole alien invasion is from the word go, yet nobody else is able to come up with this, and anybody that tries to instantly forgets about it within the next scene. So it does have the aforementioned pretty people, Jordana Brewster playing Delilah, Stokely, played by Clea Duvall, who obviously plays the goth girl, because of course she fucking does. Mary Beth, who is the new girl in town, the new Southern Belle in town, played by Laura Harris. You had Josh Hartnett, who played Zeke, that's repeating his senior year and also sells drugs that he calls scat, that he has in pens and you just snort up your nose, because that's safe to do at any point. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't ever do drugs. Whatever happened to Josh Hartnett? He just seemed to vanish. You had Casey, played by Elijah Wood. Obviously, he's a nerdy kid. You had Professor, Edward Furlong, played by Jon Stewart. No, really, that's what they called him. And yes, The Daily Show's Jon Stewart, that same one. Robert Patrick plays a roid-raging coach, a football coach specifically. And you had Selma Hayek playing a nurse. That conjures up images. Selma Hayek, by the way, looks pretty much the same now. It's remarkable. It really is remarkable. And then Fonka Johnson, who plays a meek teacher. My God, she is a fucking goddess as well. And then you have a character named Stan, and he stands in the place where he lives, now face north. So, yeah, small Ohio town, alien parasites invade, and people must band together from all social circles to fight back. That's pretty much it right there. Now, it's not necessarily that this movie is bad all around, but it's kind of like disturbing behavior in this sense. This one's more fleshed out and less of a concept than disturbing behavior because there was potential there, but it was so rushed. This was almost a bit stretched. There was a breezy part to it, a few breezy parts to it, and then there were other times where it's like, okay, now we're just trying to extend this film, and it's not quite fucking working. So, basically, Robert Patrick is just roid raging like crazy, tips over the freaking Gatorade, bench that they have. He's so upset at what his football team's doing. He's so goddamn mad. He steps on the sprinkler. He's trying to beat it down to the ground because apparently sprinklers killed his family or something. And then somebody appears off camera and he's like, yeah, what? And then suddenly, he's acting weird. Others are acting weird. Water's being consumed at an alarming rate. They must have to piss like racehorses, for God's sake. And what the hell is going on? So we cut to Zeke. Everybody gets their introduction with graphics and stuff like that and what they do. Or, what they're doing. So Zeke's repeating his, senior year. And he has that, aforementioned drug called scat, which it turns out is just caffeine pills. But you know what? When you can make people believe something, the placebo effect, you can get some goddamn money. Don't do drugs and don't sell drugs, kids. I should emphasize that. So, yeah. Various students, realize that bad things are going on. They have to fight back against this alien invasion in the stupidest ways possible. Fortunately, they somehow are not the dumbest characters in this movie. And I mean, yes, I know it's horror movie 101 that you have to make characters dumb to advance the plot. But just something about this just doesn't quite ring true for me. Like, how would you not... Like, yes, it would be crazy to think that an alien invasion could actually happen and what the hell's going on. And, oh my God, this is absolutely just impossible. Nothing like this can happen. But when you see shit happening in front of you and you realize this is going on, like, why would you act so goddamn dumb and just stand there and let somebody do something to you? Like, you can't be that goddamn scared. Seriously, what the fuck? The soundtrack is catchy at times. I did like the Offspring song, The Kids Aren't Alright. The jump scare music is particularly lazy, like really goddamn lazy, like boom, boom, boom. Like they just hit you over the head with it. Like they're thinking that will beat the audience into submission, so they won't realize that our writing and our hack job stuff here is not ripping off Invasion of the Body Snatchers and so many other assimilation movies. And this new student, Mary Beth, arrives, and I will say, pretty girl, Laura Harris. And it's clear that she's not the leader of the goddamn invasion, even though she was. Anybody that's even been outside once would have realized. You could have never seen a movie in your life, and you would have been able to tell she was the queen, the leader of this invasion, the cause of this invasion. Casey finds an organism that can reproduce and bites the professor's hand. Also, Usher was in this. Yes, R&B star Usher. I guess R&B star would qualify for what he is. And yeah, he was. This is his film debut, and he would do a bunch of other stuff since. And then there's an old lady in the shower that the parasites didn't take to her because the parasites consume water. Our bodies are made up of a lot of water, but she was so disheveled and so shriveled up that she died because she didn't have a lot of water left. She must be an old prune. They want everyone, and then her scalp falls off, and then Miss Burke and Zeke have words, and Miss Burke, Fonkin's character, is really meek and everything, like, oh, you're so rude. Suggests about, trying these condoms and stuff like that. That's the first thing a student should do, is say that to his teacher. To be fair, she's fucking gorgeous, but still, my God, the implications here. Yeah, the Laterno thing. Anyway, they're drinking a whole bunch of water. What the hell's going on? Why is everybody drinking water? What's with the water? Because they have to hydrate themselves. Because they decided to invade in a small town instead near an ocean where they could have just taken their freaking, mouth sphincters and sucked up water. Because alien mouth sphincters should be mentioned more often. I'm just going to keep saying alien mouth sphincters until I drill it into your head. Because if I have to picture this stuff, then so does everyone else. So Casey and Delilah, they see the nurse converted. And goddamn, Salma Hayek's beautiful. No one believes them. And more of the town is assimilated, because that's how these things work. A lot of it happens off camera. That 90s computer technology, though, where monitors could literally be registered as lethal weapons in about 50 states. And, I guess all 50 states, even Alaska and Hawaii. Don't try to do anything with an old computer monitor. Anyway, the slow-mo and the dramatic shots are really cheesy. I think they could have cut that stuff out, like slow-mo walking out. These students that realize that they need to be, they need to get out. Oh no, what's going on? One older teacher says, write the names of every, family member, immediate family member, and then where your closest relatives live. And one student says, is this going to be on the test? This is the test. And he's drinking water and everything because obviously they want to assimilate everybody. Because it's not like the movie Assimilate, and if you've ever seen it, I think it's on Netflix, or at least it was. That was absolute dog shit. One of the worst alien invasion things I've ever seen. Had a couple pretty girls in it. That was about it. And the weird students wanted to hide from that 70s show, and then I don't even know who the other guy was. They want more scat because, and then again, scat actually is kind of accurate because this movie is kind of full of it. And Miss Burke is assimilated and all, not nerdy and in his face and all hot, really hot. Have I mentioned how hot she is? It says, if I ever catch you peddling your drugs here again, I'm going to shove my foot so far up your ass, you're going to be sucking on my toes until graduation. Joke's on you, I'm into that. Anyway, I have weird things that I'm into. Don't judge me. Stop judging me. What are you judging me for? Anyway, pod people and the body snatchers reference finally comes in halfway through when everybody with a brain, or even half a brain, or even one cognitive thought realized that's what was happening. So Casey and Stokely debate what's happening, and they reference about 50 movies in about 2 minutes. It's absolutely astonishing. And then, would you blow up the White House Independence Day style, or would you come in through the back door? Oh my. And then, the professor, it turns out Jon Stewart is possessed. They tried to get him, even at one point Josh Hartnett ripping off one of those blades for that old paper cutting thing, which I fucking love. I loved using that thing in high school. It was a great rage thing. You could cut the paper and you could just get so much rage out. Just a huge blade, too. I don't know how they trusted us to do that. But anyway, he gets stabbed in the eye with the scat, and it turns out that it's a diuretic and it dries you out. It's caffeine pills and all that. Don't know it dries people out, and because they're made of water, and they need water, they get dried out. I guess it counteracts everything and makes them all bubble and fizz and everything. And oh, they're fizzy aliens. They're little squidbilly things. Hopefully not squidbillies. That show was ass. So we get a long slow-mo leaving scene. My God, they could have cut 2 minutes out by not doing that. And then Zeke has his own meth lab. Well, it's actually just caffeine pills and everything. And I could have done without the rat being cut open. I know it was an experiment. It was to show what the parasite could do, but I could have done without that. I don't like animal violence in my movies. So it's using them as hosts, and they argue about who might be an alien among them, but they got to sniff the scat. Because sniffing scat is what kids do these days, right? It's what they did in the 90s, and it's what they're doing now. Given some of the shit that people are into, scat might be appropriate. So they do lines of scat. They tweak out and laugh, hence cue the tweak gifs that you can't put in comments, so you could probably just put them on Twitter for me. And, oh no, it's like, it turns out that, like, everybody does it. Even Mary Beth. My God, it's not her. It turns out Delilah's, assimilated. And she doesn't know what's going on. Then she does know what's going on. And then the supply gets destroyed, except for some, conveniently enough, pens to take care of the issue. And then we get a football game montage where everybody's there, including the professor, the professor and the principal and stuff like that, and Piper Laurie as a teacher. That was kind of interesting. And, man, who wouldn't want to do that to their principal? Shoot him in the head, that is. I mean, don't do that, kids. Just deal with stuff in school like normal adults and everything, but sometimes principals can be kind of dicks, and I mean, like, it happened in a movie, so it is what it is. It's not like teaching Mrs. Tingle. That title alone, I may have to should I retro-review that? Please let me know if you're still watching. So, they get locked in the high school, or they lock themselves in the high school while a football game's going on, and then football invasion, and Stan gets assimilated. He is now standing outside the building and waiting to stand everybody. Standing, by the way, is really stupid. It's really stupid. Stop doing that with celebrities. Stop it. Get some help. And to the trunk of Zeke. To Zeke's big trunk to get more scat. And then Miss Burke confronts him. And God damn, I wouldn't be able, alien or not, I wouldn't be able to resist that. He crashes into a bus and her head gets taken off. But then tentacles, from her head spout. And she, is able to attach her head. I mean, off camera, because they didn't have enough, of a budget to show it. And then it was, of course, Mary Beth. We all knew that. The actress was naked for the last part of the movie, so that was nice. She looked good. No fucking way. Yeah, Stokely, how the hell did you not figure that out? And then we get a pool scene, and Stokely apparently bit a bunch of, fruit gushers, and was, just gushing from the mouth. Or it was that time of the month, and, some weird anatomy, anomaly happened, and that's where it came from. I'm just going to go bonkers with the last bit of this. Zeke gets faked out because which one is it? Which one is it? Turns out they're both possessed. Oh, no. Casey traps Stokely in a gated area that they just happen to have in a locker room somewhere in a high school. And then Mary Beth pursues them. And the stands are closing in because aliens apparently... This alien actually reminded me of what was in Deep Rising, except this was kind of a little bit better in Deep Rising, which Famke Janssen was also in. And the guy from Amistad. And he got killed first. I'm going to have to retro-review that now. But yeah, the stands keep closing in, like, the high school stands in the gymnasium. And the alien gets trapped. Mary Beth gets trapped because she's all, done with her human disguise. And then Casey stabs her in the eye with, like, some of the scat. So she gets scat right in her eye. No wonder ladies don't like getting that. And before fear of that. And then the little alien thing's getting his cheeks and he's about to die. And then she dies and then they fall out. And that's it. It's like little alien fruit gushers. And then everything's fine. Everybody's fine. Delilah and Casey get together. Stan and Stokely are together. Zeke is still a high school student on the football team and flirting with the teacher. Whatever. The faculty was kind of shit. The writing wasn't good. The acting was fine. I don't know. Do you think the faculty still holds up? Let me know in the comments, please. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.